Welcome to Silver Bullet Streaming. Wolfman here. As always, I'm your host. And here's a little quick sneak peek of my build here and the dual monitor setup at the end. Now, as promised, I got most of my parts in for my actually I got all my parts in for my Black Friday spending spree. And I'm going to have an old PC teardown and rebuild video here. It's not going to be like an in-depth how to build a PC video, but enough to see what's going on. Alright, I got a Ryzen 3800X, an Asus TUF Gaming X570 motherboard, G.SKILL Trident NEO, 32 gigabytes of 3600 megahertz RAM, and it's two 16 gigabyte sticks. I have a Gigabyte Aorus CV27F 27-inch 165 Hz 1080p monitor, a Seagate 2TB Barracuda 7200 RPM internal hard drive, a Razer ballistic mouse, matching Deepcool blue LED case fans, and the mouse is 1600 DPI, but I rarely use that and only do about 5,000 at most. And I use it for dumb it up and down for other uses. Alright, so I am reusing parts like my RX 590 Sapphire Nitro Plus that has 8 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, EVGA Supernova 850 watt 80 plus bronze semi-modular power supply with ketchup mustard cables. Now it's amazing what a little Sharpie or some paint can do to get rid of some of that color. You'll see that later in the build. Alright, so I got a Deepcool Gammaxx 400, a Roswell Nautilus case, some assorted Roswell case fans, also another 2 terabyte Barracuda 7200 RPM internal hard drive, a Samsung Evo 950 265 gigabyte internal SSD, and a 32-inch Samsung TV. And I'm also just highlighting my Razer Wolverine Ultimate gaming controller that I use, and all that used stuff from my previous build is going to keep the cost of the build down in general, even though I'm going to add it into the total price overall. But it is what it is. Now, I do use a controller every now and then because I have problems with my hands with arthritis and some other things from just abuse of my hands. So I try to keep my mouse and keyboard on gaming limited. So now for the new stuff, I spent roughly $950. I did get Borderlands 3, The Outer Worlds, and 3 months of Xbox PC Game Pass with it. That came with the Ryzen CPU. Now, if you add the prices of my old hardware, I've roughly spent $600, but I did get Tom Clancy's Division 2, like Ultimate Edition with all the Year 1 DLC and World War Z with it. So that was about $130 value. That came with the Sapphire 590. That was a $220 card, roughly, shipped taxes. So you take off about $140 on there, and I made up pretty good for that card. Add everything all together, and I got roughly $1,550 in parts going on, and it's not a bad price considering I did use the other stuff for a decent amount of time, and I got a pretty beastly benchmark on the UserBenchmarks site. I'll put a link down at the bottom. I'm sure most of you know what that is, and I'll put the stats that I got it in my description. Now, this Gigabyte Aorus monitor is 165 Hz, 1 millisecond refresh time, has FreeSync 2 HDR support. It is 27 inches, it has 1500 curve to it, and it has some RGB lighting in the back. Now, I have to admit, the Gigabyte software that runs that RGB lighting really sucks dick. Just going to be blatant, frank, and honest. It kept crashing and would not work. The lights still light up via the monitor. You can control whether you just want the solid yellow that it comes with, or if you want it to flash like RGB rainbow. RGB rainbow. Unfortunately, I couldn't get, like I said, the software to work, so I don't know how well it would work otherwise. It's not very bright though, so unless you have a super white wall it's up against, or you're gonna walk past it or whatnot, you're never even gonna notice it's there. But that doesn't reflect anything towards the monitor. It is a fantastic monitor. I'm gonna go over that a little later. Now, there was my old power supply and my mouse that I got recently. The ballistic mouse is programmable, has 7 buttons to program. It's awesome. And this Xbox controller does work with the PC, and it is amazing. It is just like a regular Elite controller, Has some extra, has 6 extra buttons. Has 2 for fine aiming and speeding up and whatnot, and another 4 buttons. Now the programming wasn't working quite well, unfortunately. It is what it is. So now here we're getting into unboxing here. We got a lot of cables. Came with USB 3.0, HDMI, came with a DVI cable 1.4 for the HDR. It actually came with a cable, surprisingly. Sometimes I see on Newegg people don't get the cable with it. And came with a European power plug for a 220 volt and some weird 3-prong, as you're seeing right here. I didn't know exactly what that was, but hey, it came with lots of options and lots of stuff. It was packed very nicely. No complaints on the packing. The box was slightly bigger than I expected, but I'm glad because it was packed in that giant foam there. Alright, now let's crack this clamshell open and get unwrapping and unboxing fully this monitor and get everything set up so we can get to the real reason why you're here, is to see the PC sort of put together the way I cut it. It's not a full-on, like I said, not a full-on instructional video there. So I did have issues with the GoPro that I was using with some SD cards that didn't properly run in it. That is a thing. You want to Google it if you have a GoPro. Make sure the proper SD cards, and some of it was done on my phone. So I kind of just wiped all the sound, and you have to listen to me, kind of ramble away. And that was my old PC there, my old build, kind of glowing. I should have turned it off, and when I wanted to, and finally I did. So now the back piece here just kind of slides in and presses down and kind of gets locked by these 2 little squeeze tabs there. And the Versa 100mm mounts are behind this, so you just kind of pop it off, and if you have a mount of some sort, like a dual monitor mount or a wall mount or something, you got it. It's very easy access to get to. You see all the plugs are underneath there, and it does snake into the back here to the little square there for wire hiding down into your desk. And this little bottom piece just kind of slides on, clips into place, and you screw it on and call it a day. Now, for comparison's sake, that Samsung is a 32-inch TV, and this is a 27-inch monitor, so there's a little bit of a difference. And we have a wild doggo that wants attention. What do you want? I'm busy. I'm busy right now. I'm doing stuff. I can't play. I'm sorry. Come on. Gotta kick you out. Later. Later. Play later. That is handsome Jack Jackson, the doggo. Probably be barking throughout this video. So I don't know what I'm doing with this desk yet. See what happens. Whether I keep it like this or move things around, I'm not sure. But I do have a bracket coming in. It's not going to fit both of these. Like I said, I have that other monitor. We'll see what happens, or I might just have the one for now. I don't know. I do want to stream, so I do want 2 monitors. We'll see how that goes. Alright, so here I got my case up and the doors, the glass out. So you can see everything here. This is the old board. It's an old Asus board. There's my Sapphire 590 and my power supply I'm going to reuse. One of those hard drives is actually junk. That's coming out, but it did get replaced. I know it is facing up, and a lot of you are going to yell that it's facing up and it should be facing down, but I do have a doggo and it sucks up hair, but I did actually put it down because I did prop up my case on some milk crates. Yeah, I know, very white trash for me. What can I say? So I do hate this case because it's an older style. It has these 5 1/4 inch bays and 3 1/2 inch bays, and kind of messes with everything. There's the old, let's see, ketchup and mustard looking cables there, which will disappear at the end. Like I said, I did kind of Sharpie the hell out of them, and it's hard to notice them. And I did leave a little bit of the yellow because there is yellow in there, so it just kind of blends in. There's the Gammaxx 400. It's a great cooler, especially for the price. It's cheap. I do replace these 2 fans I'm pointing at right now with the fan in the front there. I have matching ones, but At the time when I made this, I set it up without them because this stuff actually came in earlier than expected. So, you know, yay me. I got the, a week early, used my PC originally. I mean, this was all shot weeks and weeks beforehand. I just took forever to get this out. GoPro issues, other issues, making other videos. I started using different programs. I'm using DaVinci 16 now for editing instead of the Windows video editor. I'm learning, getting better. I hope it shows because these videos, can be kind of hard to put together. So here we go. Got my power supply out. I took one of the hard drives out, put the new hard drive in. It's all good. Getting ready to take out the motherboard. Now you just unscrew. It's screwed in by, that one is screwed in by 6. My new motherboard actually has 9. So you want to watch, make sure you have all the little stand-ins in the back that prop the motherboard off the case in the right spots, because you don't want any metal touching in the random metal spots. It's definitely not advised. So you want to make sure they're all in the right spots. That is a Seagate 7200 RPM hard drive, 2 terabytes, and that old motherboard is it's got 16 gigabytes of DDR3, an 8350 FX processor. It's all junk, but did me well. And that junk could be someone's treasure because I am going to put this all on eBay. As you see, it's in really good condition. It is Ballistic Sport 1600 megahertz DDR3 RAM, and it's 4 sticks, 4 gigabytes each, 16 gigabytes total. It has original I/O plate, even has a CD for it. I mean, I have had the original box. I did get it used, but I've had it for a good amount of time. The person that had it for me didn't use it well. The 8300 FX chip, 8350, FX chip that I have is it's less than a year old. It's about a year old. I didn't use it very much, so someone was get a good deal, and they get those if they're going to build some sort of a retro system. I don't that's what they're going to use for. So, like I said, maybe I'll put some links in there if anyone's interested in it. It'll be on eBay. So we have got Asus again. I like their BIOS. I didn't really overclock anything, but I do like their BIOS just in general. I've had a Gigabyte previously and an MSI, and out of the three, I like the Asus better. That's why I didn't go with the Aorus. The Gigabyte Aorus board, and instead I got the Tough Gaming. I mean, they're pretty much neck and neck. I didn't get the Wi-Fi because I don't need Wi-Fi. I'm always gonna have a hard line in this thing. So this PCI 4.0 cable, which I plan on taking advantage of in the future. I know I could have got like a MSI B450 Tomahawk Max board and been perfectly capable of running this 3800X that I got. Which I know most people, why'd you get 3800X? You got 3700X. Well, you know why? Because it was $15 more. I'm not gonna over $15 more. I'll take the better binned, better silicon chip. That's why. And technically, I also got the Outer Worlds with it, even though I have it on my Xbox PC Game Pass that I got. So I'm not gonna complain. In case it ever gets off Game Pass, I want to play it again. I own it. It's worth it to me. Let's open the side up. I'll do this one-handed here without fucking anything up. As you see, I decided to put the phone down and open it up with 2 hands, so I didn't mess anything up. So as you see, it's really not that yellow in there. A lot of people complained of how yellow it was in there. It's mostly just black and gray. A couple of yellow, highlights really, they get hidden pretty well. I mean, although if you do want a Batman themed board, this is your board for you. The black and yellow in there, some RGB, turn it yellow. So I just lifted it up, didn't want to film putting that in. I wanted two hands to get that processor in. You don't want to mess that up. So got that in. Very carefully stuck my RAM in B2 and A2 slots. You want it separated. You don't want them in A1 and A2 so it runs properly. And then got my cooler and everything mounted on top and getting ready to put it inside the system. Alright, so now it is inside. All 9 screws all sit in the proper spots. Got my power supply in there. It's facing down for all the haters out there. And sorry about the dog. I've been trying to record this and not have the dog barking in the background, but can't do it constantly. So the top does come up on here, and you saw it earlier in the video. This is where all the headers are. It does have 2 headers. Has a 3.1 header and 2.0 USB headers on there, and the power ports and all the fun stuff in the front there. I was able to conceal some of the wiring in the front bays there, unfortunately, but I did move this wiring and tucked in there more. And there's my failed Seagate hard drive, which I am working on doing a video. We're going to put some arrows through it. There we go. There's my bow right there. A Bear Cruiser too. Great goddamn bow. We're putting arrows to that hard drive. Stay tuned for that video. So now everything's installed. Ran the wires a little better here. Got my Sapphire 590 in. You see I kind of sharpened the wires there. It's not as bad as it was before. I mean, you saw how bad they were earlier. So turned out pretty nice. I mean, it's about as best it's going to get. I can't tuck any of those header cables or the power button, any of that stuff underneath because of the way the case is designed. That's why I wish I had a new case. Actually in the next frames, you'll see I did switch out these fans. My fans came in because it took forever for me to get this video put together. This is kind of hard to see. I will shine a light in there later so you can see what's going on. But the build's coming along, got it in. It's like just the 9 screws there. You get the I/O plate in the back on, just careful not to crush anything too badly. Just overall being careful. Now you can see the back here. I flipped my case around, and there's just not enough room for these wires in this case. I do not want to show you what it looks like after I got done. And that's where I have a mount for the SSD, which I didn't use originally, but I'm going to use it in this build. It was very hard to get that back case piece to slide back on. I am so glad it's not a double tempered glass case. Saved my butt by not having that. So here is the updated version of it. I kind of tweaked the wiring just a tiny bit more. Nothing crazy. New case fans, they all match. It's a little tiny bit cleaner in there. I do really like the way those light up. I know they're not as good as some other case fans, maybe not as quiet, but it is what it is. It's all matching, and I spent $6 each. I paid $12 for 2 case fans, and they glow blue, and I only wanted them blue. I don't need them all crazy colors, so it worked out perfectly for me. So I'm trying to shine a light in there so you get a little better view. I don't have the greatest lighting for like practical filming effects there, but yay, LED flashlight. I did actually throw that other black fan that was the exhaust fan up on the top over there. I don't know if you can really see it very well in this video, but more fans the merrier. To a certain extent, you want to have proper pressure inputs on there. You don't want too much pressure in, or not enough, or too much pressure coming out with the airflow. Oh, there you go. So I did get a good shot of it there. One of these days I'll go full 64 gigs and four of them in there, and all light up together. But that just really helps with the editing and fancy stuff. I'm not there yet, so I ain't worried about updating it, and I ain't got the money for that yet either. So all for future projects. There we go. There we see it's running. 3600 DDR4, 1619, 1939, 3800X. It's idling at 3900 megahertz. Got all my fans running. I think it's idling a little high at 1.4 volts. I might look at the underclocking it a little bit. See what I can do on that. It's hard to see there, but the CPU temperature sitting at idle right now, and the boot screen at 37. It jumps up to about 45-ish when I'm sitting at the menu screen with both monitors running, so it's adequately cooled. I haven't seen it go over 67 degrees under load while playing any games or video editing. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the build. Obviously, I got some stuff I got to upgrade in the future, but I don't got money. I am broke. So hopefully I get this channel going, get some streaming going. Everything, like I said, if you guys help donate, goes towards this build. Help me get it up and running better quality videos, and help support the doggo. So here's my build, up and running in the darkness, all lit up. I like the kind of retro 80s vibe. I'm an 80s kid. Yeah, just that purple and blue is just awesome. I am going to look into getting 2 LED strips for the top and bottom, make them purple. I don't know if I'm going to do like all crazy, like all around the whole sides or anything, just to add a little tiny bit more color in there, but it's still like a low budget build. You know, I don't know what kind of GPU I'm going to get, you know, what the colors are going to be. Maybe I'll add some extra, and probably won't be RGB GPU. I'll just get a regular one. And this one wasn't really RGB except for the Sapphire light up. So, but I hope you enjoyed this build. I hope you enjoyed my video. Like, subscribe, go watch some of my other videos. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you thought about this build. There it is at the end there, what it looks like on my desktop. I did push it back a little bit more. The second monitor is kind of flat-ish in the back. You know, I got my nice little nook, gaming nook there. But yeah, like I said, leave some comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think I can improve. Don't go crazy. Don't be kind of dicks about it. You know what I mean. Just, you know, let's conversate. You know, let's get things going. You know. You have any questions? Leave it in the comments. See if I can answer some stuff. I mean, I'm no master builder, but I think I'm pretty good at building PCs. All right. So like I said, like, subscribe, share, do all the fun things. Thanks for watching and listening to me ramble. You know, your support means the world to me. And until next time, I'm Wolfman, and I'm out.